All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Complexity Casting with me, your casting host Beef, and joining me today, well, we got a very special someone, Nova from Team QsQ, QsQ357, but you're the big daddy of the entire QsQ organization, here to cast with me right now. Nova, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks as well for inviting me because I was kind of not casting in a long while, I think.
Yeah, been a while. Well, I'm happy to have you here, break you back in. So yeah, we do have your team. I mean, QSQ. Like, what's your relation to the QSQ777 squad?
Right now, today, actually, they asked me if they are supposed to change their tag or something, and I said, no, for God's sake, please keep your tag. The more QsQ teams, the better. I wouldn't even consider myself the big daddy. Like, with starting the whole community and the whole thing, I wanted as many teams as possible to come out of that, and I don't want to take any anything for them having success. If they win the next diamond cycle or something, I'll be just happy for them, and they did it on their own. By wearing the QsQ tag, they just show that they came out of the community. So it makes me a bit proud, of course, and I'm very happy that there are several QsQ teams, even some running under a different tag that made it that far. So yeah, just happy for them.
Well, I am as well. Of course, they are down here in gold, dropping out of diamond, but with a victory in this series, they would re-qualify for diamond. So that's what's on the line in this best of three. Nova, I mean, you we talked about it a little bit there during the break. QSQ dominated that first game, just won their lanes. Death Growl just crushing in the middle, and Zane doing a fantastic job suicide. They got the farm that they needed on the Legionnaire and the Moon Queen, able to take it into the late game. And DmSn, I mean, what do they need to work on if they're going to try to get really better lanes and a better shot against this team?
I think they probably need to focus on their early game. I haven't watched the first game, but by what I saw from the stat screen and what I see from their recent games on both sides, it looks like they need to work a lot on the early laning phase, as in just focusing more during that time and making sure that they don't get far behind and give up an early disadvantage right away.
All right, I could agree, but let's get on into this blind bands. We have Wild Soul and Parasite from the Legion team, Keeper of the Forest and Wild Soul coming out from the Hellborn. Wild Soul being banned by both, and then of course the Keeper of the Forest banned from Hellborn. Parasite was banned by both teams last time, just one taken care of at this time. Anything to point out there in the blind bands?
No, the wild soul ban happens every now and then. Teams are comfortable playing with him, but not comfortable playing against him. Don't want to risk it, and you don't want to give up like two strong heroes such as Keeper Tempest, for instance, for wild soul. So teams tend to ban him and Keeper of the Forest a lot, and even oftentimes dual banning him. So that's not surprising at all, no.
Sure thing. Getting into the lock pool. First lock up, a Luna. Got the Tempest bubbles coming out from another dimension. Couple of the Strength Initiator guys in there with Miraxus Magmus from QsQ777. And they rounded out with Ophelia. Nova, what do you think about this lock pool?
The first log from Aluna just shows that they don't want to show anything. It's just a very generic log that doesn't indicate anything, that they want to go for junglers, for strong dual lanes, even a tri lane, whatever. So just not showing their strategy. Then a log from Tempest from the Hellborn side, which I kind of find surprising because the Deathcrawl player has 4 Tempest played in his recent matches, and all of them are very convincing stats scores with 7-2 and 6-8, not so much 4-2 and 3-2. So yeah, I don't know why you want to give that hero necessarily to the other one. Bubbles, generally very standard logs. If you lock Miraxus and Magnus, however, I kind of want to question why you don't lock the Pebbles instead. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
there's something in mind about that. A hero they don't want to play or play against, but they haven't banned him out as well. So we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah, I completely agree. As we look at the bans, Pebbles not included. The heroes that are removed from the pool, though, Fade, Plague Rider, and Engineer from the QsQ7 team. A couple of nice ganking, and you got a good setup right there with Fade and Engineer being removed. And Plague Rider, they played it last time, not choosing to go with it this time, want it removed. Silhouette, Jeraziah, and Tundra going to be joining in there, removing the carry player that DmSn ran last time. Don't want to give it to the other team as well. And then Jeraziah, Tundra, same bans from the last game. I mean, anything real important to point out in the banning stage?
Oh, Just your very generic bends all over the board. Heroes you don't want to face.
All right. Well, first pick comes out from QsQ, and it is going to be Pharaoh. So, and then just like that, you talked about it. Why don't you lock the Pebbles? If you're going to put the Magnus Meraxis in there, not going to ban him either. And the other team picks up Pebbles plus Nymphora. So that's a pretty strong combo.
Yeah, it's a very strong combo for the mid game, but it's not a very strong laning combo. Both Pebbles and Nymphora are not the strongest laners. Even though we see Pebbles all the time in a dual lane middle, it's still worth a shot to put him on the short lane, as well as the Nymphora to get her an early level 6 uncontested, that she doesn't have to go back to base a lot or guard the runes, stack, whatever. So I would like to see DmSn running this on the short lane and having Pebbles with a fast portal key and a Nymphora level 6 dominating the game through and through. It's possible, however, that they're influenced by the current strategy that always sees the melee initiator dual lane going mid lane. So we'll see what they make out of that, and we'll see if QsQ reacts to that and puts a very strong dual lane middle, or if they just let him farm whatever they intend to go. Pharaoh indicates, however, that they want to go for an aggressive start right away with their lineup. Hack and Master of Arms. So they're definitely going to pick one of the melee initiators from the lock pool and pair it up with the Master, sending the middle. Regis Hack solo short, Pharaoh long lane, and then the Tempest or Ophelia in their jungle, whatever their preference is.
There you go. From the Master himself, Nova telling you what's up. Now, if they did choose to go without a jungler, of course, getting rid of that Tempest Ophelia, if they choose not to run one of those, is that a possibility?
It's a possibility to run in a Luna Pharaoh lane on the long lane, but I don't think that they will do that because I haven't even seen any other team do it, to be honest.
What about something like a Pharaoh short lane, Wretched Hag mid, and aggressive tri-lane long?
It's possible that Master of Arms is quite level dependent. He's good at level 2, but you want him to get levels for especially the second skill to get more and more effective. So he is possible to be lane in a tri-lane, but there are still offlaners in the pool. And what do you do if they pick a Bubbles on the Hellborn side from the lock pool and send it solo short? Then your tri-lane kind of goes to hell because the Bubbles is still going to get experience, and if you leave the lane, he's going to get experience. If you stay there, then you sacrifice a tri-lane for Bubbles. However, with the Monkey King, they already show that they're gonna have a very strong solo lane against either the Pharaoh or the Wretched Hag. Then a decent dual lane that wants to dominate the mid game. The last laner is most likely the Bubbles.
Bubbles, and then pick up the Ophelia as well?
Yeah, because you can't... Yeah, well, you could go for a Luna. Bubbles and a Luna. That would work because that... Yeah, that works because you can then you even have the possibility to lane whatever you would like to. You can send all 3 lanes to all 3 lanes. You can even send the Monkey off lane. It's not the greatest, but he's most likely going to be against the solo as long as the jungler doesn't come ganking. But I think that they're going to choose a more safe route. Nope, they're not. They're going to go full out exactly on the early game, as I said, and they really want to focus on the lanes right now, and I like that a lot. Now it just really comes down to their laning.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to come down to skill because they've got the lane set up here as the last pick should be either Meraxis or Magnus. And we'll go with the Meraxis. So like you said, Master of Arms, Meraxis in the middle. Going to have the Wretched Hag soloing short with the Pharaoh Suicide. And so this 2-2-1 strategy from another dimension, they should have the lanes to actually do pretty well against QsQ. But it's going to come down to their coordination. It's going to come down to their positioning. And it's going to come down to their skill, whether they're able to dominate the lanes well enough to actually make up for them not having a jungle hero.
Yeah, they can definitely make up for that. I don't like the Meraxis pick here. Of course, Meraxis gives survivability, and the Hellborn team is very damage heavy overall, over the entire board. All 5 heroes add a lot of damage to team fights, to little 2v2 situations and whatnot, but still Magnus gives you the possibility to go in a lane. Meraxis doesn't give you that. Meraxis is a defensive 2v2 hero, and Master of Arms is an aggressive support. So you would rather want to see a Magnus paired up with that than a Meraxis, but they're more so looking into the mid game and even late game, and they'd rather want to have a farm Meraxis with items like Shrunken and Hellflower going into the mid and then the late game, since I don't think what player... No, Tilla is a support player.
Yes.
They're not going to have a Master of Arms carry, so yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. You're not going to see a support Wretched Hag or something this game. But as you mentioned, Death Growl seems to play a pretty dang good Tempest, and they did give it to him this time. So we'll see how effectively he's able to play that jungle, how high he can get that GPM, and when he starts to come out for those ganks, get the pushes going on. And both teams going into the opponent's jungle here, trying to get some warding, and 5 players on 5 players, opposite sides of the map though.
I think that QsQ is leaning back a bit too much with this lineup. Like the Tempest, for instance, until he has a Shrunken, he can be disabled. His ultimate can be disabled by frigging 5 heroes. So, that regard, they're not going to achieve much in the mid game until he has that Shrunken for the late game. And they're going to lose lanes unless they outplay their opposition. The Pharaoh is going to lose his lane, obviously. What is he going to face? Probably a Monkey dual lane. Could even face a Pebble. No, Pebble's going to be bottom. Okay, Pebble's going to lane against the Reddit Hag, free farming there. Monkey King is going to lane against the Pharaoh, free farming there. And then you're going to have a Bubbles in the middle against a defensive Morexis, what I talked about before, Morexis Master of Arms. So the Bubbles going to get full experience. And with that setup, it's not even a problem not having a jungler, because you're going to dominate 3 lanes in terms of what you're supposed to get and what you're actually getting.
So they are going to be going for the 1-1-3, most likely with a little bit of roaming in the bottom lane, as opposed to the 2-2-1, which is what I had predicted. And what's the advantage here of placing an additional support in the bottom lane rather than having somebody up top to harass for Monkey King?
You're right, they're having the Nymphora bottom. That is awful. Not gonna lie. Because, okay, what are they doing? They're switching it up now, sending Master of Arms and Morexis bottom. That is an awful decision as well, because if you just have a Hag there leeching experience, you're gonna get a lot on the mid lane at least. But having a tri-lane against a dual lane, it is possible for you to lose experience on 2 heroes. Once the lane gets pushed up, and it's already starting to get slightly pushed here because they're gonna get a dual archer. Okay, no, the archer's gonna get denied as well now, but this lane will ever so slightly push into the favor of the Hellborn side. So you're gonna have Master of Arms and Morexis sitting at the tower, waiting for the lane to come back, and 3 heroes getting experience here. So QsQ's kind of set up a bad thing for themselves.
They're actually going to go in right here. There's the Slagmites, the Zeal Stun. Auto attacks coming in as well, and one more auto attack would finish off Meraxes. Now it's going to be up to the Power Throw. Will Power Throw connect right here? Not going to have the opportunity just yet, and will Potion up. So a good start, getting pretty aggressive as Power Throw still kind of lining up, but like you said, this is pushed very far forward, and the tri-lane not necessarily going to be able to get the kills that they would be if the lane was pushed up a little bit further, or if there was a hero unlike this defensive Meraxes.
Yeah, with that go, it was good that they tried to get damage in early on right away, but now the lane stays at the tower, and with the lane staying at the tower, you're going to have 2 heroes getting more experience than 3, obviously. I would have really liked to see the Nymphora harassing off the Pharaoh top, so the Pharaoh doesn't get anything, and Monkey King gets everything. And the top lane comes down to skill right now, and right now, Zane is playing slightly better than Monkey King. Zane having 10 and 2 and Monkey having 9 and 3. The score is even, and Monkey King is going to get a couple of creep kills in the tower, but still, Pharaoh should not be in XP range. So, you have a dual lane bottom. What can they possibly put against you? There's nothing that can dominate you in the bottom lane when you have a Pebbles just tree farming there. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they do need to move somebody around a little bit, but actually, the moving is going to be coming out here from QsQ as they do call for a pause. Maybe a little bit of lag going on, but some rotation coming in. And now, what's up with this movement from the Q Squad team?
Yeah, okay, now exactly happened what I said earlier. The lane pushes up, and now Master of Arms and Morexis, what can they do? Like, they can only stand at the tower and be like, yeah, let's wait until the lane comes back. They blocked our pull, we need to wait until we have a D-word and can unblock that, and we're not going to have anything of that. So they're going back to middle, and have the hack going back to bottom again. And that is quite, well, unnecessary. I would like to say that having him for a bottom was a bad move, but then moving the dual lane bottom was a bad move, and now moving back middle is kind of what, cost of it, or the consequence of it. Now they move to mid lane again.
So how is Hag gonna do down here? I mean, I know she has the mobility with the Flash of Darkness, but at relatively low levels, you can still get caught out of position. That's only like a 500 range blink on a 12-second cooldown or something at level 1. So is she going to be able to contend with this tri-lane bottom, or are they even going to leave it at tri-lane once she moves back down here, or will they send the Nymphora to rotate like you want?
I really hope that they send an Nymphora to help, but you're absolutely right. As soon as the Pebbles has 3 minor totems, as soon as he's level 3, whenever the Hag is out of position, she's gonna yeah, just melt against whatever support is staying there, Nymphora or Luna. The other support should go top. The problem, however, is now that the Pharaoh is level 3 already, so level 1 Luna won't harass the Pharaoh out until the monkey. Oh well, monkey's level 4. Maybe it works if you like fight close to the monkey, and then Pharaoh has always the danger of being went on by a monkey plus the support. But there needs to be sort of rotation coming up from the Hellborn side right now. What Luna's doing there, I don't know though.
Yeah, Luna needs to be very, very careful. She saw these players walk by with the wards. And it looks like Master of Arms is actually heading top. Is it possible that they're moving their dual lane all the way up into the top lane? Or I don't know what's going on anymore.
Wretched Hag needs to go bottom or will go bottom now because there's no one in the bottom lane. The worst thing in an early game that you can have is one lane not being contested whatsoever. Not even a player having their trying to get experience. I think they will have, since they have a Tempest in the... Oh, a Luna.
Yeah, she's caught out the Tempest right here. No boots, though. There's the power throw. A couple more auto attacks would finish him off. But no, Tempest is going to be fine for now unless Monkey King gets into position, but he has no mana. So, yeah. Tempest should... Well, hold on a second. Luna's going back in for round 2, and she will scout out this Tempest. There's the auto attacks, the power throw, and Bloodlust for Jim Parsons. So, Death Growl getting a little cocky.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just having a Master of Arms there doesn't mean that he's gonna master the arms of the Luna. Right, so... Okay, this is really interesting now, because you have a level 5 Pharaoh, and Pharaoh is a very good laner. He's contributing a lot to the laning, so... well, she's level 3 now since she got a Bloodlust there, and Tempest she was in experience range. It could become very interesting. Level 5 Monkey King desperately needs mana. When he has a full mana pool, then it's going to be really hard for the Master of Arms to stay out there. I like that the Nymphora is getting level, or I hope that she's getting levels. She's fighting off the hack, but also getting levels bottom. And with that being said, Steam Boots and Pebbles already. Ooh, needs to make his way there though.
Yeah, Nymphora could be in some trouble right here. Gonna try to go out. There's the Stalagmites. Where's the Chuck? There it is! And Wretched Hag will go down. Imba Boy taking some pressure. Nymphora very close to going down herself. But DmSn off to a 2-0 lead. And that's what they needed in this early game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, now it's really interesting for the DmSn. As you said, they needed that, but especially they killed the Bloodlust went on the Tempest. That was the best hero to get a Bloodlust done. It helps him switching to jungles again, but at the same time it hinders his farm, and he should be the best farmer in the game, which he's not right now. Let me quickly see. No, Pebbles is now the best farmer in the game. So, yeah, things really worked out for DmSn in the end, but if the Hag would have been bottom from the start, then it would have been way harder for them to achieve anything.
Yeah. Now, sending the Luna up top instead of the Nymphora, what are your thoughts on this? Pebbles, he loves having that mana, but there's not going to be a whole ton of opportunities for him to kill up there. Whereas I think the mana would be better spent on Smackdonald up here on the Monkey King. By the way, Smackdonald wanted me to let everyone know that he has not played HoN in a month and a half before today's game. So he says that if he makes any rookie mistakes, that's why. So dropping excuses here for Smackdonald.
And then he plays Monkey of all heroes. That is pretty bad for him. But if they are fully wrecked on top lane, I think they have the possibility to kill the Master of Arms whenever. What I said earlier with
Master caught out right here. There's the Heavenly Vault. Actually putting him on the wrong side of this tree. Not going to be able to get in there. There's Bubbles, though. Kelpfield going to be able to finish him off. Pharaoh in some trouble. Shellsurf going the wrong direction. Perhaps Wanton Slam is there. And Pharaoh will be able to escape. Lots of rotation, though. QsQ sending 4 players top. Monkey King should have been able to get an easier kill there. Went on the wrong side of the trees, though, with that Heavenly Vault. In the end, they do get the kill, and they're able to get out of there, though.
Right, so right now it is perfect for DmSn. Nymphora should have been top if it was a solo Pharaoh. If it's a dual lane, however, they have more kill potential with an Luna burst than with the Nymphora stun. And bottom, Nymphora is, as well as the Luna, are perfectly fine to kill the Hag whenever she's out of position. So, this setup is perfect for DmSn, having their Luna top. And Luna was the one getting the kill on the Tempest, and Nymphora wouldn't have been able to do that either. So, the decision making by DmSn in that regard was really well.
Alright. The seal of approval here from Nova as, well, Wretched Hag still struggling in the bottom lane. Picked up that bottle, and now the Master of Arms is there. They might be able to put out some more pressure as the wards do just expire from the Hellborn team, so they're not acutely aware of this presence yet. And in the top lane, Monkey King's got to be careful. Pharaoh very, very close to hitting level 6 right now, and does hit it actually with that catapult. So Wrath of the Pharaoh could spell some doom for Monkey King if Elemental Void is to follow up.
Yeah, exactly. They need the Tempest ulti in order to heal the Monkey. Monkey can jump over your face, whatever you throw at him, unless it's a Tempest ulti, and then Aluna should be there and be able to disable that. The problem, however, for the Hellborn side with their aggressive lanes is right now that they don't have any wards. They have one lane ward top that is not going to help them much right now if they want to get anything aggressive going. But again, the Legion side has one lane top that is kind of uncontested. No one is there trying to get experience or gold whatsoever right now. Pharaoh just running around trying to find a hole to do anything, but there's nothing that he can do right now. And the Legion side at least has a very important ward on the top rune that shows any movement from the Hellborn side around that region.
Yeah. Pharaoh was heading over to that top rune to try to camp it, but instead double damage being given up to Bubbles in the middle, who might be able to kill this Meraxes if he chucks a couple bottle charges as Wretched Hag takes some pressure in the bottom lane. But not going to use the blink after all. She's still level 4, so falling significantly behind right now at 151 experience per minute.
It would be so much better for the Legion side if the Tempest would just farm in their jungle. That is something like when you see TDM or so, those teams have jungler against dual support. Yes, they avoid the dual support roaming, but one support is top and one is bottom. So Tempest should just be in the jungle and farm.
Oh.
Right now, there's gank attempt.
Yeah, 3 coming in right here, and Nymphora, there's the Matrax being activated. Sonar Scream, and Nymphora goes down to the auto attacks, not even needing the Matrax. So Back in the Box probably saying, well, that was kind of overkill, but kill secured, so that's what matters.
They've forced attention from 2 lanes to the bottom lane. That is of course good for the Hellborn side because Bubbles is able to, well, in theory he should be able to pressure the mid tower now, but he's just static farming right now. That is, in my opinion, a mistake. I think he should deal as much damage as possible to the tower because you see Morex is still hanging around there.
Especially with that DD. Well, actually, they're going to go into Wretched Hag. Zeal Stun connects, and Zergo will actually be able to get the last hit. So maybe the Zeal Stun didn't connect right there.
Nope.
But showing off that new portal key at 9 minutes in here.
Yep. And that is exactly what he should be doing. And instantly nymph port to the top lane. That is so beautiful.
Yeah,
so good for DmSn.
Oh, they're going to catch Tempest as well. Tempest goes down in addition to Pharaoh. And DmSn doing a great job roaming. And they've done a fantastic job so far in this game. Up 6-1 in hero kills. 3,600 gold and 3,000 experience. Going to be able to start a big push on the tower. Might have to trade their bottom tower for it. But, well, they're looking very, very much so stronger than they did in the last game.
They're not going to trade the bottom tower for it, but yeah, they're looking really strong right now. And I think it comes really down to QsQ7 kind of just sitting back a bit because they won the first game so handily. So they picked rather defensive heroes and a rather defensive setup overall, just hoping to outplay their position again on the lanes, but then having very weak lanes against the actual lanes from the Hellborn side. And then what you could say, okay, well, at least they have a Tempest against dual support, but the supports are level 5 and 6 as well, and Tempest is only level 7. And you oftentimes see a level 10 jungler against level dual 5 support. Yeah, I saw that middle.
Almost happening there in the middle. If they had gotten that Shell Surf teleport off just a little bit faster, maybe it could have happened, but Wretched Hag will be able to escape. And like you said, that's just one of the bad things about Tempest being on the opposite side of the jungle. Is 0-2 now. That's not where you want to be on Tempest. At 11 minutes in, you want to be at like level 10. You want to be looking at a portal key if that's what you're going to be rushing. So, might have had that opportunity in his own jungle. We'll never know right now as DmSn continues to take off with this game perhaps. Now, what does QsQ need to do to get back into this one?
Well, QsQ needs to rely on their team fighting, so Morexus needs to get, well, he has a Grave Blocker, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a dead hag.
Yeah, that is a very dead hag, but Tempest needs to get his portal key, yes. Not even upgrading boot, just straight portal key. Morexus needs to get a bit beefier and looking at the portal key as well, and they just need to survive until then. It's so hard though. And then for level 6, and it pebbles with the portal key, and then the possibility to kill someone whenever with the Monkey King Bubbles combo as well. So it's extremely hard for them. They need defensive wards, need to constantly be on the lane where the opposition is not, and then still fear an import. So right now it's horrible for the Legion side to move in this game.
So, Nova, everyone knows you as, well, one of the best, if not the best, at least one of the most experienced supports around. What is your take on the wards right now from the Legion side? Gonna have 2 defending their jungle, and then kind of an odd lane ward there in the middle lane. Is this the correct position for these wards to try to defend like you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. The bottom ward from... Oh,
they're going to be going in right here. Quake on the 2 players. There's Wrath of the Pharaoh. Bat Blast going to connect it. Down goes N4. Pebble's going to be shortly following. Aluna might even be in some trouble. The Morax connects, and Aluna will go down. So great shot from QsQ to be able to take advantage of that one. Might have been set up very well by that lane ward.
exactly. Just wanted to say that lane ward is going to help them win a potential fight down there if it's a team fight, and that's exactly what happened, because their team fight is extremely strong, as you know, and as you pointed out yourself, and that was just shown in this fight. Now they're gonna get this tower exchange. I hope that Bubbles now pressures the middle tower at least, and no, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
And Legion side doesn't go for the tower either. They're so afraid of the low levels from the Elbow side, and thus the low respawn timer, that they don't want to commit to anything and give up their small advantage they gained in that team fight there.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you have to take risks in order to really capitalize, but, well, in fact, the tower will go down! So, a bit of a blunder with the use of the Glyph of Fortification right there. And, QsQ grabs an extra cookie from the cookie jar without Mom catching on right there. And, well, we already see a Soul's Bulwark this time being picked up by the Hellborn team. Last game, okay, I told you about Deadwood, Legionnaire, Moon Queen. They did not have a Soul's Bulwark. It was a 50-minute game, and they did not have a Soul's Bulwark.
Okay. Interesting. They're probably triple stack here now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, triple snacks are definitely good. Using that green goo as well as Tempest, just raw damage. And that'll be very nice to be able to get some of that lost farm back up onto Tempest. He is doing pretty well. 270 gold per minute.
Mm-hmm. But we still have the 3 top farmers obviously on the Hellborn side, and these are the 3 heroes that need to make action happen with Nymphora all the time. Luna just think level 6, that is important because the red stick should be all over the map as well, assisting in kills. With that, okay, there's the portal from the Raxus going in the Nymphora.
Yeah. Nip taking the fall there in the middle lane. They're going to try to capitalize. No, not going to be able to, as Monkey King was in position, but not actually going to do anything. So there you go. Portal key, naked portal key essentially. On Meraxis, no steam boots. I guess he does have a grave locket in a bottle, so not exactly naked. He's in his skinny clothes.
It works. It works as you saw, and Nymphora was out of position 3 times. I believe she died 3 times. Yeah, and 3 times it was because she was out of position. And yeah, that just happened again.
Oh, they're going on Meraxis though. Yeah, he's going to get comboed down right there by 4 players on the Hellborn team. And this tower might be going down as well, as all 5 for the Hellborn are in position. They might even be able to go on to Pharaoh or Tempest if they spot them out. Instead, just going to try to clear up this creep wave ASAP and bring the tower down. Green Goo going to be going out, so anti-push coming from the Legion. Looking like they almost want to fight here. Tormented Soul going to be coming out as well. And 8 seconds until Meraxis is going to be up and might be able to TP in. He does have enough money. Will they be able to bring the tower down in time? No firm commitment coming in. And the Green Goo goes out once more. We got 8 players here in the middle lane. Meraxis just TP, so make it 9. If Wretched Hag gets in there, we could be in for a big team fight, but it looks like the Hellborn team choosing to back off using the site that they have up the hill. They don't want to tango just yet.
Invis on Bubbles heading towards the bottom lane, but then going back to the mid lane, I really like that decision because you are able to get pickoffs middle. Now obviously, as we said, the Legion side has a stronger team fight, but starting a team fight with a pickoff usually means that you're going to win the team fight as well. If they choose to defend the tower...
Oh, there's the initiation right there. Wrath of the Pharaoh onto 2. Down goes Nymphora. Aluna may be in some trouble as well. Hedge and Hag. There's the big Elemental Void. Going to be able to catch 1. And Monkey King in some certain trouble right now as well. Bubbles going to go down. Monkey King joins him. And QsQ taking 4 for nothing plus a tower. Who said they were behind? They are more than back into this game now.
And you know who is out of position again?
Nymphora.
Yeah, Nymphora getting bursted down for the 4th time by Meraxis in a row right away at the start of a team fight. And as I said, with a pickup starting the team fight, Nymphora and Daluna were both not able to contribute anything to the team fight, were in a position to do anything, and then the others could just follow up and kill the Bubbles and Monkey King. And the problem is not also that they make use of their team fight, like the problem for DmSn, but it's also that they can't apply any pressure anymore right now. And that is DmSn. Because right now they're in on the back foot, so they can look for pickups, they can group up at places, but the dual support is not paying off in terms of warding, because they do place a couple nice wards, or have been placing a couple nice wards every now and then, but they're not de-warding whatsoever. At least I haven't seen them de-warding any ward, and that means that the Legion side usually sees the pickups, and then Port hasn't been used much as well.
Luna getting picked off here in the middle lane as well. Gonna activate the Deja Vu. No dodge though, just walking in a straight line. The more hacks. I have so much trouble saying that. The axe just finishes her off. Like you said, I mean, I've seen, I think, one Rev ward down thus far from the Hellborn team, and that's one of the things that allows a team to really ascend from a top 20 team or a top 25 team into the top 16, a diamond team, a top 12, a real contending team, is having a support player that's going to be able to provide you with vision and make sure to eliminate the information available from your opponents. And if you're not able to get those counter wards down in a consistent fashion, well, then your enemy's going to be able to get better positioning on you, just like we saw right there.
Mm-hmm. And Master of Arms has been doing a really good job of not getting picked off as well, whereas on the other side you have two supports who died 7 times the total. Like, the other heroes only died once each, but the supports have died 7 times, and yeah. I don't want to blame names at all, ever, because I haven't seen the first game for instance, but they just, maybe they haven't practiced that style so much and just wanted to go with it after they got blasted off the map in the first game on the laning phase, so just wanted to go with this style this game, but yeah, it's not working out because supports are not doing as much as they should right now.
Yeah, you go dual support and you really think, you know, they're going to be able to have counter wards up all the time, but we're seeing some counter wards go down now, just trying to look for vision up on the high ground, but as the tower's already gone, perhaps a little bit too late, day late and a dollar short would be the saying, but you know what, they're trying to do their best, and this is a gold match. I mean, DmSn, they're a top 25 team right now, but this is a match to qualify for Diamond, to be one of the top 16 and play with the big boys. And so if they're looking to move on, then they need to be on top of their game. So, no excuses here.
And they're not applying any pressure anymore. They're so intimidated by the last 2 team fights that they're not trying to make use of their lineup. And that means that Tempest is just farming up. He's level 11 now. He went for a tablet and it's Steam Boots instead of Hotkey. If it's his playstyle, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to say it's wrong. And Tempest is going to farm. The others are just going to avoid the ganks that aren't even coming and are being fine, getting a little bit of farm every now and then. And just like that, you have an experience advantage of 2,700 experience, and that's not just the team fights, it's also the playstyle.
Yeah, of course, just more farm advantage being taken here by the Legion team. And, well, Master of Arms, he's going to actually try to get some counter-warding done himself. I really have to give it up to Tilla. He's probably one of the more underrated support players in the scene, but every time that I see this QsQ team playing, I mean, whether it's against Seeking Perfection, you know, a top 30 team, or DmSn, you know, top 20, or whether they're playing against Complexity or Trademark, I see Tilla and the rest of this QsQ team just really trying their hardest and doing a great job. So big shout out to him. Support is an underrated position.
Yeah, definitely. You have to keep in mind he's out-warding and out-supporting 2 supports at the moment.
Rax is trying to get in there. There's the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Monkey King in some trouble right here. Hellfire is going to be coming out, and down goes Smackdonald. So, nice pick-off once again, and that comes down to vision.
And they're leaving this one Predazar Crusher, so it's harder for the Hellborn team to stack and get an advantage. Hag just blinking out of the Pebble stun immediately as soon as she saw him, and blinking TPing out in time as well, so very well played here by Imba Boy.
Good reflexes on Imba Boy. Big versatility on that player as well. I saw him 2 days ago playing a 600 GPM War Beast in another gold matchup, the one before this, accurately. And, you know, playing a Wretched Hag here, so he's done very well. And I believe that I saw him on Silhouette last game, so playing carries in any form, jungle or otherwise.
He's known for his Silhouette and Moon Queen, and I really like that he can step up and play other roles as well, and just, well, a Wretched Hag and War Beast are both carries as well. You consider Wretched Hag a semi-carry, but she can turn into a hard carry. Might not even be necessary in this game here now, but yeah, as you said, huge versatility with that player. But also I would like to underline the shout out to Tila, not only specifically in this game, but also in other games. Like, in the past, he kind of grew up within the QsQ community. In the past, I've seen him play support and be, well, kind of that one guy who just feeds all over the place as support.
That's me.
But he... oh, that was you. Alright,
Oh, yeah,
might have mixed up the
me.
names.
There you go.
Yeah, alright. But he evolved so much. He became so much better in the course of let's say 2 months, 3 months. And I really admire that in a player who just goes for a goal and just pursues it and becomes better. And it's not like many people are saying it's all about experience, but he just, in a very short amount of time, he just became the player he is.
Well, there you go. It's all it takes is a lot of time, hard work, and dedication, and you too can be a very, very strong HoN player, Nova. Testament to that, but well, let's get back into this game. Wretched Hag, she's recovered relatively decently, up to 242 gold per minute, going for a sustainer first, so it looks like she's going to be going for a nullstone. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's okay if it's just enhancing the farming ability. There's the TP bottom, but right into a Pharaoh and interrupt it as well. I don't want to have any of that. I wanted to use an info report on the Wretched Hag there. I think Nelson is fine in terms of farming capability. It doesn't help against the Pebbles, who can just use Chuck on himself. Together with an info, they will still be able to kill the Wretched Hag in the later stages of the mid game, but it's okay.
Yeah.
She could also rush just Hellflower. Wouldn't give her survivability, but would make it possible for her to initiate together with the Pharaoh.
Yeah, the lockdown potential of that Hellflower is just so strong. And I mean, we've been seeing Hellflower on any hero that you can think of recently. And what is with the rise to dominance of that item over something like a Sheepstick or even a Storm Spirit that we've seen in the past instead as kind of a first item on so many heroes?
It's just that it disables items, and everyone goes for Shrunken Heads nowadays, so... since the games are usually rather passive, not necessarily in Gold League where teams are still trying different setups and whatnot, but the games in the highest level of play is usually very stale. You have very few kills, an argument that has been brought up a lot. So with people always getting the items they want, such as BKB for instance, the only way to pick off someone and kill him immediately in the very late game is by applying a Hellflower. And that's why you sometimes see like 3 or even 4 Hellflowers in a game. Because that gives you the possibility to actually initiate not only in a team fight but also in pick-up situations. Because if you do not have that Hellflower and just have a Hags, like, you don't have the necessary damage to kill someone. Since it's not only about disabling the items, it's also, of course, about getting that extra damage in that is applied with the Hellflower debuff.
Yeah, I mean, that the Soul Burn, I think is what it's called, the effect, or Hellflower effect, or something, but very, very strong for going for those quick pick-offs. And I mean, I've seen times where a Wretched Hag with just a level 16 Backblast and a Hellfire effect can just get a huge kill on someone so fast. Very, very strong item indeed. Both these teams now just kind of backing off, and nobody wants to initiate. And this situation where both teams are just farming, this favors the Legion pretty heavily, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, they're gonna just farm up behind that, and you have an Amphora, make use of it, and if you don't make use of it, then the game's pretty much over, unless you already dominated the early game so much that well, then you will make use of her anyways and continue to get an advantage. So, yeah, the Hellbar team has no real chance if they continue not using... What was that? Oh, that was Quality. Okay.
Yeah.
But quickly wanted to add something to Hellflower versus Sheep. There are 2 more things. The first being Hellflower is way cheaper, but achieves slightly more. The only thing that you get from Coldest Sheepstick is the survivability that you get from the Ultimate Orb. And the last thing, it has a better build-up. A Wretched Hag with an Arcana can do more than a Wretched Hag that is trying to save for an Acolyte stuff.
Yeah. 25 int versus pretty hefty amount of int, some mana regen, some damage, some attack speed. It's a very nice build-up indeed, but Wretched Hag, in this case, choosing to go for that Null Stone as she does pick up the Blessed Orb, so not going to be going for a Restoration Stone or anything else kind of wonky and out there right now.
Yeah, Ruined X, of course.
There you go. Hey, we don't have... who was that, actually? Unique Phaser? That picked one of those up back in the day?
Some of the Russians. Yeah, Valkyrie with Ruined X.
There you go.
I remember.
Valkyrie with Ruined Axe back in the day. And I miss those Russians. I really do. I miss a lot of the old teams. You get
Hag will blink away now. Oh god, Hag. No,
Hag does get initiated on counter initiation though. Pebbles is gonna go down to the backblast. Actually cleans up Bubbles as well. Oh, the two supports, they are way out of position now. There comes the Sonar Scream onto Aluna. She's gonna go down. The Volatile Pod, Nymphora, why did you stop to cast that? Nymphora goes down as well. And another 4-for-0 exchange in favor of the Legion team. They're going to be able to take this defensive tower. Tempest did not even have to use his Elemental Void. He's got the Shrunken Head available.
That ward that is running out in 5 seconds down there, I just wanted to point to that ward before it's gone. That made it possible because they expected that due to that ward and had the possible continuation. Hag didn't even blink away because she knew that she was going to be saved by Pharaoh and Meraxes. So it's all the Tilla again, it's all the support again, and just, I'm not saying generally, of course, that only support made this possible, but it's this support with the two supports on the other side, on the Hellborn side.
Yeah, Tilla doing very, very well in this game as, well, the lead extends even further. QsQ777 now up 1,100 gold and 11,000 gold and 13,000 experience. As so even with the Shrunken Heads being picked up now on Pebbles and Monkey King, there's still heroes that without preposterous amounts of farm aren't going to carry into the super late game against somebody like this wretched Hag, who has started working on a Hellflower herself by picking up that first Steam Staff.
Might be Shroud though.
Yeah, I mean there's a distinct possibility that the Shroud or maybe even in Sanitarius.
Yeah, no, and Sanitarius is over the board, man. That is kind of, I don't think so.
Okay.
But against Juro and Hag, I can, yeah, that gives her even more mobility and mobility in general.
Are you being serious right now, Nova? I can't tell if you're being serious right now or not.
No. Well, Monkey went for a Shrunken Head, which is a teamfight item, and that indicates that the Hellborn Desperate tries to just go somehow into the late game with the Pebbles with a Shrunken Head, and who's probably going to go for a Hellflower, and after that looking to go for Savage Mace, and then Monkey King trying to use him as a hard carry, because, well, obviously Monkey King is sort of a semi-carry hard carry. If he gets that,
he gets initiated on though in the middle lane. Wrath the Pharaoh gonna follow up on the Quake, and Monkey King in some trouble. He's gonna go down. Barrier Idol even being used. They're gonna try to catch Bubbles as well, but a hasted Meraxes is going to be able to close the distance. No, chooses to back off. Actually looking for Pebbles perhaps up here in the top lane. No, not going to be going for anybody. Another good pickoff, though. That's every member on the Hellborn team's died in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, so much for Monkey King 500 GPM.
Simply not going to happen. And, well, DmSn's early game strategy, it worked out in the real early game, but kind of falling apart here at 30 minutes in as their last lane is starting to get pushed.
Yep. Can even go for the secondary tower right now. That was Shrunken on Tempest. Nothing is going to cancel him right now. With the tablet together, might look for a portal key in 350 gold, but they're not waiting for that. Counter pushing on the bottom side. There's the first TP though.
Yeah. And it is Meraxes. He's going to get comboed by Pebbles. Shell Surf Song of the Sea. If more TPs come in, Meraxes, you know what? He's going to be just fine anyway. He is so tanky. He drops the Quake. Nymphora is going to be the first one to go down. Meraxes will die as well. Pharaoh's in position, though. A blink on the Wretched Hag. She's going to try to catch Pebbles. There's the Pharaoh. What the hell? That was kind of an... what? That was the strangest looking chuck ever, because he chucked onto Pharaoh, but Pharaoh used the Wrath of the Pharaoh, so he moved up forward, and cool physics. Cool physics right there.
That looked cool indeed.
Oh, top lane, Tempest might be going down. Elemental Void, no, not going to use it. In fact, it got canceled right there. Tempest will go down. Tilla needs to get out of there. Is there a kelp field available? No. Tilla will be able to TP on out. The Elemental Void canceled by Monkey King when he was inside of it, so that's cool.
I don't think he casted it. I don't see a cooldown on his
spell.
spell.
No, it's on cooldown.
Alright. Then it's bugging out for me.
Yeah.
Monkey being monkey.
Yeah, that's all it is. It wasn't even a one-gen slam. He canceled it with a vault while he was inside of the ultimate, so... Nobody knows what that hero does. He just kind of walks around and kills everything and interrupts everything. Strong hero.
Oh. Boy missed that one blink. He's probably mad at himself. Wanted to blink over 2 cliffs, and now he's standing in the river. But it's only 6 seconds.
Only
Right,
6
so
seconds
yeah,
indeed.
14,000 or 15,000 gold lead and 15,000 experience lead, even 16,000 now for the HoN side, so for the Legion side. And Pebbles looking to get a pickoff, but the time for pickoffs is pretty much over. You have a Reddit hack with 1600 HP. It could work with an M4 level 4 stun and a Pebbles, who's going for a Hellflower himself. But he's not going to kill the Pharaoh. He might kill the Tempest if they catch him, but for that, again, they don't have the ward side. So, in theory, they could go for Reddit Hag, could go for Tempest, and could go for Master Brahms, but how do you go for those targets if you don't see them? Sometimes, when I'm getting totally outwarded, what I try and do is, as an M4, I just port the Pebbles with me on the 2 360-degree positions on the opposite side. You probably know which ones I mean, the highest cliffs where you can put 2, yeah. So sometimes I just port there, instantly put down a D ward, and if there's a ward, we both need to TP out and hoping that no one was around. But if there's no ward, then I can put their ward myself and looking for a pickoff and then TP out after. Just try anything in terms of pickoffs to get an advantage in this game again, because right now, they're not going to win this game at that rate whatsoever. Even if the monkey now would go up to 502 PM by farming. It would still be a case of a Monkey King against Regid Hag, Pharaoh, Maraxis, and Tempest all having farm.
Yeah. And Monkey King certainly does not have that 500 GPM. He does have another 1,800 gold bank up after finishing up his Soul's Bulwark and a Shrunken Head, but still just not doing a whole ton of damage. You don't have a shield breaker on him or anything like that, as Pharaoh's initiating right here onto both of the supports. So Luna most likely will go down. Monkey King trying to get in there, runs right into the Pharaoh walls. There's the Zeal stun though, and Pharaoh still, well, they're just going to turn it around on Nymphora. She goes down, and well, Monkey King will have to back off. Wretched Hag is also, by the way, finished up her Hellflower and was for a moment the top farmer on her team. That's a big recovery.
Yep. And yeah, supports died again. Not really surprising. I don't know. The Legion side will just ride that to victory now, I believe. We'll see.
Yep.
Barrier been activated.
Double damage on Maraxis. And defensive tower in some trouble here. We'll see what the initiation is. There it is! Gonna be trying to go onto the Pharaoh and the Maraxis. Don't know about that. The Elemental Void gonna be coming out, catching only Bubbles. Gelfield is there as well. Bat Blast gonna be going out. Bubbles goes down. Nymphora still dead. Luna takes the fall. The Monkey King in the middle of it trying to bring down Pharaoh. Not gonna happen. There's the Bat Blast. Takes out Bubbles and Monkey King. And that's gonna be it. GG, well played. Vote to concede passes, and DmSn gives up the series 2-0, and QsQ777 takes it, advances on, going to be going on to the losers bracket round of 2, and with this, advances back into the Diamond division.
Welcome back to Diamond, my QsQ fellows, welcome back. Well, we said enough about Tilla and how he really dominated in that game in his role. I would also like to give a shout out to Zane, Imbaboy, and Back in the Box, because all three of them really did as much as possible with their respective heroes. Especially Maraxis, as soon as he had that portal key, he picked up the supports over and over and over again. Pharaoh did so well with his ultimates and catching people up all over the map, and Regid Hag, as you said already, recovering really nicely. The only reason I don't give so much of a shout out to Get Girl in this game is because I'm used to higher standards pretty much with his Tempest play, and he kind of made a couple of weird decisions, as we talked about in the early game, going to the enemy jungle, overstaying a bit, dying bloodlust and whatnot. But with the help of his team, he easily recovered. Went for an interesting item build, made it work as well. So, yeah, overall, QsQ just played very well.
They certainly did. So that is actually going to do it for this HoN Tour Gold series. QsQ will be moving on, and I believe, let's take a look here at the brackets. They're going to be facing the winner of Team Please versus Dober on Damp. Dober on Damp, the former champions of the Bronze and Silver Division, making their way up, and first time in Gold now. And they're only one game away from qualifying from Diamond, so really Cinderella story. They're almost trying to come all the way from the Bronze bracket, but those games are going to be going on a little bit later today. Guys, that's going to do it for our HoN Tour coverage right now, though. We're going to be going into some in-house league for about an hour or so. And then right after that, we've got a series coming up from the Sound Blaster Heroes League. Going to have Druids taking on Header. But Nova, I don't know if you want to cast a little bit of in-house league with me, perhaps. I don't know what's going on just over there yet, or if you have other plans. But thank you for joining me for this series.
All right. Thanks for letting me joining as well. That was a pleasure indeed again to cast.
Well, Nova, I think you did a fantastic job. Even if you say you're rusty, I don't believe it. You did awesome. This was a very fun cast. And Nova, any shout-outs before you do depart?
I would like to shout out to our sponsors, JK, we don't have any, and to my teammates. That's it.
All right, Nova. Well, thank you very much, and we'll try to get you on some more in the future.
All right.
All right. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this. We're going to go to a quick break right now while we try to get maybe an in-house league game set up. And then we'll be back for more Sound Blaster Heroes League in about an hour as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll have more HoN coming up in about 5 minutes. QsQ wins 2-0 over DmSn. So congratulations to them. And once again, huge shout out to Nova for coming in and co-casting with me. Thanks to the teams, DmSn and QsQ, for both allowing me to cast the game. And of course to S2 and Heroes of Newerth for allowing HoN Tour to happen. And one more big one to Complexity. Without their support, coLcast would not happen. And to the Complexity sponsors, Sound Blaster, Origin, QPad, PNY, Creative G8, Brand, and Twitch. Check out ComplexityGaming.com for all of your HoN Tour information with up-to-date HoN Tour brackets, Diamond Division coverage. And I'm going to be putting out a new CoLHoN weekly breakdown, I think, tonight. So take a look at that as well. Guys, we'll be right back with more HoN.